.NET, what types of applications we can design, all these introduction we discussed in yesterday. And also I discussed, if I want to work with this C# .NET, then how I have to create our first application also yesterday I showed. Again, I'm repeating that concept. If I want to create a new C# application, see, if you are learning a language, always the best approach to start, even I'm not saying with C#, even if you are learning VB.NET or Java or any language you are learning, always prefer to start your work with console application. How to create a console application? New project, and here C#. In this area, you have to select a console application. But using C#.NET, you can create Windows, web, many types of applications you can design. But you are just learning the language, so always take with console. Again, here it is showing two things. Console application with .NET Core, console application with the .NET Framework. As I said, I will tell the difference between these two later. But yesterday I selected console application with the .NET Framework. As of now, the difference between these two here is project structure is completely different when we compare these two things. But language wise, both are same. Language wise, both are same. So here how you are writing, there also you can write. Language wise, no difference, but only project structure will be different. And other differences also, major differences are there, I will discuss later. So I selected console app using .NET Framework. Then your project setup you will get like this. Under a solution, here you are having one project, console demos. Under this console demos, properties, references, app.config, program.cs. These 4 files you will get in your console application. These 4 files you will get in your console application. And in this, the first one is called properties. This properties is going to show your project properties. Project properties in the sense, what is the target framework you are using, and what is your assembly name, and how to change this assembly version, all these things, and what is the default namespace you are getting, what is the application output type. Suppose suddenly you went, you joined in a company and you joined in middle of some project, then you don't know what type of application it is, or what is that type, what is the assembly number it's running. All this information, if you want to know, that project related complete information you will get here. Not only that, what are the build settings, what are the debug settings, security level settings, everything, publish related, everything you can do here only. Slowly, many things I'm going to change here, but not now. Slowly, when that topic came, I will explain each and every topic. But keep remember, any project, whether you are creating a Windows, web, or any type of project, these properties are common. These properties are going to describe about your project. And your project related any setting, if you want to change, here you can change. Your project related any settings, if you want to change, here you can change. When you are publishing, what is the published version you want to maintain? All these setup you can do. I will discuss this later. Next one is app.config. What is this app.config? Your application configuration settings. Your application configuration settings. Application configuration settings in the sense, suppose see, going forward here, so many programs you have to add. And each and every program, globally, I want to maintain some data. Otherwise, leave about all these things. Suppose if your application is going to connect with any database, or your application is going to connect with some other cloud storage, or your application is going to connect with some other services, or anything, your application is going to interact with any outer one, that connection details and all those things will be there, right? All that configuration settings you will give in this app.config. And app.config is in XML, means framework, .NET framework completely concentrated on XML. Whereas .NET Core, they completely concentrated on JSON. That means here what and all configuration files are there, everything is in XML, where in .NET framework. Whereas in .NET Core, everything they concentrated on JSON. That's why all configuration files, everything in JSON format. Slowly, when I'm explaining the topic, I will tell some differences, but in detail difference between framework and core, in detail I will discuss later. So app.config, your application configuration settings. If your application is going to interact with any outer things, whether it is a database or whether it is a storage service or whether it is some other API calling or whether if it is some other application, whatever it is, all the settings you are going to set in this app.config. And whatever you are placing in this app.config, this is common to all pages. That means going forward here, so many files you are going to add. All these files can access the values which is placed in app.config. Keep remember. Okay. Next, program. By default, one default program you will get. That program architecture, C# default program structure, it is showing here. Now, what is this references? Please understand carefully. This explanation is little important. So, in C#, not in C#, even VB.NET, Java, any object-oriented programming if you take, any object-oriented program if you take, every object-oriented program structure will be like this only. So, in this, everything is based on some library. Everything is based on some library. That means some DLL, dynamic link library. Everything is based on this library. That means you are installing some framework, right? .NET framework. What is this framework? Framework is a collection of libraries and runtimes. It is a collection of libraries and runtimes. So, when you are creating a console application, some libraries you will get automatically in a reference folder, a references folder. Same thing, if you are working with web application, some libraries will add in references folder. So, if that library is there, in that reference, then only that library related, what library contains? Library contains collection of namespaces, and a namespace contains collection of classes or collection of types. A type may be a class or an interface, etc. Many things are there. A type may be class or interface or anything. So, if you take any type, a type is a collection of members. Members means that may be a method or a constructor or property. Many things are there. We will discuss all these in detail in OOPS concept. But keep remember, if I want to, so based on this, if I want to use a method, I have to depend upon this method. If I want to use, I have to depend upon class. If I want to use a class, I am depending upon namespace. If I want to use the namespace, I am depending upon that namespace related library. Okay, again I'm saying all these are interdependent with each other. So if I want to use a method in my program, with the help of that method related class only I can use. If I want to use that class, that namespace should available. If I want to use that namespace related DLL should be available in my references. So all libraries should be available in my references, and all namespaces should be declared at the top of the program. That means what? Here, if I want to use a write line method, which is used to, any one of you knows C language, in C print statement, print is there. Print is used to print something, right? In the same way, write line is used to write something. Hello world. But if I want to use write line, what I'm saying? Write line is what? Write line is a method. Write line is a method. But if I want to use method, what I said, I want that method related class. This method is placed in console. This method is placed in console. So what is console? Console is a class. If I want to use console, then the console is available in a namespace called system. See, that is highlighted because in my default program, all these things will be added automatically. And if I want to use this system, then that system related library should be available in this. See, system is there. That's why you are able to access this. Suppose, to understand this, what I'm doing, configuration manager. So what is this configuration manager? This is a class. Is a class. I know. So, but if I'm trying to use this class, it is throwing error. So I know clearly this configuration manager class, if I want to use, I have to import that reference using system.configuration. If I import this system.configuration, then it will work. But still it is throwing error. Why? Because is there anywhere in this system.configuration is there? No. So I wrote a class, that class related namespace I imported, but still it is throwing error. Why? In references that is not there. So when you create a console application, some libraries only you will get by default. Other than this some libraries, if you want any other thing, you have to import that by adding. So somewhere you will have system.configuration. See, this is unchecked. Check. Now observe carefully. Here error is there, right? Once I add this one, automatically this error is gone. See, its color is changed. Its color is changed. So system.configuration is there. And here this error is gone. This error is some other error. I didn't wrote this method properly. Like dot app settings of something I have to write. I didn't wrote that completely. That's why it is showing error. But see, that error is resolved. Not only that, suppose I want to use Oracle connection. Oracle connection. Con is equal to null. So in this case, Oracle connection is a class. Oracle connection is a class. Is a class. And if I want to use this Oracle connection, I know I have to import that corresponding namespace using system.data.Oracle client. But even though I'm giving this, it's not removing these errors. Why? That system.data.Oracle client is not there. So what I have to do? I have to add reference. So go down, system.data.Oracle client. It's unchecked. So select it. See, once I added here, observe carefully, all my errors are gone. See, all my errors are, this green color indicates some other error. So my errors are gone. That means if I want to use any method, That method related class I have to use. With the help of that class only I can do. If I want to use any class, that class related namespace I have to use. If I want to use any namespace, then that corresponding library should be available in the references folder. So when you are creating each type of application, only some libraries they will provide for us. But the complete libraries list, you won't get in any type of application. So what and all libraries you want, all those libraries you have to add using this add reference. So going forward, we can create our own DLLs also. That we will discuss in assemblies concept. Going forward, you can create our own DLLs also, and that DLLs we can import to any other. Ma'am, how you are saying this configuration manager is available in system.configuration, or this Oracle connection is available, in system.data.oracle client, or this write line is available, or this console is available in system. How you are saying? If you don't know that, simply right click on this, go to definition, or you can press F12. Then see, what is this console? This console is a class. This class is placed on a namespace called system. And here that library information, it will be there, but you can't see all the library information. But that assembly related information, what version it is, all the information it will be available there. That means this class is placed in this system namespace. So if I want to use this class, I have to import this namespace. Not only that, if I right click on this configuration manager and go to definition, this configuration manager is available in system.configuration namespace. So if I want to use this class, I have to import this namespace at the top of the program. That DLL related information, you can't see it here. Okay, you see one more here, you can see. If you go to that second line corner, system.configuration.dll, see there which version, all that information it is showing there, right? Not only that, last and final, Oracle connection. If I right click on this, go to definition, right? Go to definition. Okay, I will use that. Let me comment this. Dot. Just I will use something. Open. So if I go to this Oracle connection, right click and go to definition, this Oracle connection is a class again. And this is under a namespace system.data.oracle client. And which DLL? If you go to that corner, system.data.oracle client.dll. So like that, each and every class related namespace and libraries you will get. And see, don't think that one namespace under one class will be there. No. So for that, I will add one more. Convert. And one more is there. String builder. Okay, leave about all these things. Basic thing, convert. So if I right click on this convert and go to definition, this convert is again under system namespace only. So this is also a class, and this is coming from system namespace only. That means what? Multiple classes can be placed under one namespace. Okay. And when you are writing a program, by default for console applications, some libraries will be added automatically. Other than these libraries, anything if you want to add, you can right click on the reference and you can get all the references here. What are already available, that information, and each library related, what version you are using, what is the file version you are using, all these things you will get. I will tell in detail about all these things in assemblies concept. Like all these things, when you are creating your own assembly, you have to mention all these details. At the time, I will explain in detail about what all these things. But keep remember, all these are information. Okay. Any questions on this, or is it clear? That project structure, everyone is clear? Shall I move to next? On this project structure, is everyone is clear? Okay. Thank you for listening. Then once this part is over, then as I said, by default, you will have only one program, that is called program.cs. In this program.cs, your default program structure is available. Let me remove all these things. Console.writeline, at top you are having all this thing. So these are the namespace section. By default, some set of namespaces you will have. So at top of the program, is namespace declaration section. That means even though in your references, that reference is there, but still that namespace you have to import at top. If you are not importing, it will throw error. But actually console related system.dll is there in references. But why it is throwing error? That namespace also you have to import at the top. That namespace also you have to import at the top. And whatever, if you observe whatever classes till now, all the classes are under some namespace. Because of that, if I want to use this class, I have to import this namespace, right? In the same way, going forward, if anyone wants to access this program class also, then they have to import this namespace. By default, whatever project name you had given, that project name, it will take it as a namespace name. If you don't like that name, if you want to change your namespace name, either you can change it directly here, but it won't change permanently. For this program only, it will change. No, ma'am, permanently I want to change the namespace name. I don't like that console demos and all. Then where again, this is what project setting. So that project setting can be done in this properties. In this properties application, here, see what is the default namespace? Console demos, right? Here, whatever namespace you like, you put. So from next program onwards, all programs namespaces will take as sample only. All programs namespace, it will take as sample only. So whatever classes you are preparing, if this class also, if you put under some namespace, tomorrow in other program, if I want to use this class, they have to import using sample. How they imported using system? In the same way, using sample they have to put, and they can call my class. Try to understand. Anywhere it's not clear, please ask. All these are basics. Once you understand the structure, next onwards we are going to write programs only. That's very easy. Again, I'm saying, whatever classes you are preparing, all classes, if you put under some namespace, going forward, if anyone wants to call your program class, they can call this program class very easily. They can call this program class very easily. Okay. Now, after doing this, my namespace is there. Under some namespace, my classes are there. Now, a namespace contains any number of classes. A namespace contains any number of classes. That means either if you want to put in same program or another program, your wish, but under a namespace, any number of classes you can place. Okay, next. As I said, my C# is an object-oriented programming language. So everything you have to put under some type only. As of now, we know type means class. Interfaces and all, now they won't comes into picture. So instead of type, I will call as class, but class is nothing but type. So whatever programs we are going to write, all code should be placed inside class only. Inside class only. Class program, and that program inside we are going to place all our code. We are going to place all our code. So in this class program, whatever we are going to write, these are called as members. By default, one member will be there. That is nothing but static void main. This is an entry point for our program. Entry point for our program. Suppose, see, in your house, so many doors are there. But for your house, only one entry point is there. From that entry point, you will go inside. After going inside, any other doors you can move, but the entry point will be only one. Not only that, whatever you take, whether you are going for a movie or whether you are going for a college, whatever example you take, entry point will be only one. From that entry point you will go inside. Once you go inside, after that any other entry points any doors you want to cross, you can. Same thing, this static void main is our entry point, not in this C#. Any language you take, every language will have a default entry point. In some languages it will be main, some languages it will be void main, in some languages it will be static void main. So why this method is declared as static? Very important, I will discuss in static concept. But our main in C# and Java, you have to specify it as static. And what is this main void? My main is not returning anything. My main is not returning anything. That's why I had given void. That means, ma'am, if your main is returning something, then you can change this. Yes, see, return 0. My main is returning number, right? Here I have to give int. My main is returning an integer. Or if your main is returning some string, return run. My main is returning some string, so I had given string. If your main is not returning anything, always you have to specify this as void. But going forward, in any case, if your main have to return something, then this is going to change. Okay, so if any method is given with the name called main with M capital, then that is the default entry point. That method you no need to call anywhere, it will call automatically. And to this main, if you want to pass some data, that data, it will take it as string array by default. To this main, if you want to pass some data, that data, it will take it as string array type. How to pass values to your main, I will discuss later, but keep remember, main will takes the data as a string array type by default. String array type. Anyone wants to ask anything? So main is going to take the data parameters by default as a string array type. This is again one common interview question. So as of now, I don't want, so remove it. As of now, I don't want, so remove it. Later, I will explain how parameters we can pass. Now, my main is not taking any parameters. My main is not returning any value. Here, my main is not taking any parameters and my main is not returning any value. Okay, inside this statements, what I'm giving, console is a class, and in this write line is a method which is used to print some message. And whatever message you want to print, that you can give it in double quotes. That's it. Now, how you are going to execute your application? You can press F5, you can press Control F5, or you can press Start button. Anything is okay. Suppose if I click on this Start button. Here, observe carefully, it is showing output, but immediately it's coming back. Immediately it's coming back. It is showing the output, but immediately it's coming back. I want to stay in that console window till I press any key. Then what I'm giving at the end of the program, give console.read key, which is used to read a key character. In keyboard, any key character it's going to take. When I press start button, it's going to show the output, and here cursor is waiting to enter any key. There is no rule that I have to press enter key only. Any key is valid. So when I got a key, immediately it will come back. So read key is used to read a key character and immediately it will come back. Okay, done. Next.
Can we also give a character for the read key, ma'am?
I gave W. If you observe here, observe carefully. Here I'm entering, suppose R, any character. See, if you observe there,
it should be only a character or a string.
No, you can't enter a string. Once you enter a character, immediately it will come back.
Okay.
Okay, it won't give you a chance to enter a string immediately. Once the first character it found from keyboard, immediately it will come back. Okay, so keep remember. So here I'm not giving read key, but still I want to stay there. Then you can press Control F5. So Control F5 is going to show the output and cursor is waiting there till you press any key. So if you don't want to give read key, then no problem. You can press Control F5. It will show the output and cursor will stay there till you press enter. Then what is the difference between Control F5 and F5? Not now. Going forward, your program's length will increase like this. Suppose, see, here if you observe, so many programs and your program size will be too complex like this. And somewhere your program is failing. I don't know exactly where it is failing. Then for a developer, the best approach to find out the issue is breakpoints. So here you are getting one gray color line, right? In this gray color line, you put a breakpoint. The breakpoint will be placed. Now, if you press F5 button, then only F5 button or start button, then only this breakpoints will run. Okay, here I had given F5 means what? Start debugging. That means start finding out the issue. That means step by step it's going to find out the issue. But if breakpoint is there, when I click on F5, it will stops in the line where you had given your breakpoint. So here when I click on start button, where you found your breakpoint, in that position it stops. In that position it stops. And to continue next steps, you have to press F10. It will comes to next line. By that time already your output is displayed. By that time already your output is displayed. And next F10, it will continues. But when you press Control F5, start without debugging, even that breakpoint is there also, it won't consider that breakpoint. Directly it will shows the output. So if you want to run your application in debug mode, then you have to press F5 or start button. But the problem with this debug mode is after showing the output, it won't stop there. For that, you have to use read key. Again, I'm saying again and again, I won't repeat. After completing our demo sessions also, I will continue next topic only. So again, all these topics I won't repeat again. Sometimes when I'm putting breakpoint, if it is not stopping, directly I will use this. Don't ask again because so many concepts are there in C#. So when you are running your application in debug mode, always ending you have to press, you have to give console.read key. But if you are not running in breakpoint, then no need to give this console.read key. Directly you can press Control F5. It will shows the output. So what is Control F5? Control F5 means start without debugging. Means even though breakpoints are there, it won't stop there. It won't stop there. And F10, which is used to move to next steps. F11, which is used to move previous steps. Not now. For this single line of code, I can't explain much about breakpoints, but later in arrays or classes, I will explain how this breakpoint will work. Again, breakpoint is very, very important for developers. Sometimes you wrote everything well, but output is not coming. Exactly in which line that issue is can be easily understand by putting breakpoints, by running your application in a debug mode. Okay. So almost everything we discussed. Any questions you want to ask, you can. I explained everything about project structure, application project structure, everything. And one more small last one. There is no rule that you have to put your program under some namespace. See, suppose from internet you are downloading some songs. By default, where all these songs will be there? In downloads folder. There is no rule that move that songs from download folder and put it into folder, separate D drive or E drive or somewhere. There is no rule you have to keep in a separate folder. But if you maintain all those downloaded songs in a separate folder, what is the advantage? Advantage is if you want to reuse that, then it will be very easy for you. Suppose from internet I downloaded Telugu songs, Hindi songs, English songs, Kannada songs, all songs I downloaded. But everything I kept in my downloads folder only. Now suddenly I want to play all my English songs collection. Then what I have to do? From the downloads, each and every one I have to pick and add to VLC player or somewhere, right? But at the time of downloading only, if you place that in a proper folder architecture, then tomorrow if you want to reuse that, it will be very easy, right? Same thing, namespace also. So all these things, if you are going as a fresher, then definitely you will face all these questions. Okay, so there is no rule that you have to place your class inside some namespace. But if you place that, tomorrow if you want to reuse in some other program, then you can easily use. With the help of this namespace. Okay, now you can ask any questions.
So while using start using without debugging, is it necessary to have keep the breakpoints?
No. That's why, see, when I put a breakpoint, if my work is done, then immediately you have to remove that breakpoint. That is very important. Otherwise, what will happen is you will forget that break. Sorry. Yes, Sridevi, continue.
Yeah, that was the question. That's it. I got it. So we have to remove the breakpoint immediately.
Yes. Others? Okay. So tomorrow I will move to next little advanced programming and how to add more than one class. If you add more than one class, immediately it will throw error. What is that errors? How to resolve that? How to read the data? How to print the data? Everything we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Once all these things are over, then we will move to language basics, like what and all data types are there, what are the operators are there. Always keep remember, when you are learning a new language, all these basic steps are mandatory. See, when you are suppose in your companies, your company is sending you to some other country, UK, or some other company, some other area they are sending. So what you will do, leave about project and all, first initial things, how that location is and how the environment is, all those things first you will search in internet, right? Same thing when you are learning a language, the basic things is what and all data types, what and all operators, what and all rules and regulations, how to input and print the data, all these things you should know. That is very very common thing. Then we will move to original coding part. Hardly around 8 days it will take to explain all these things. What are the loops? What are the jumping statements? What are the structures are available? And what are different types of arrays? All these things will take around 8 to 10 days. Once all these things are over, then we will move to our original concept, object oriented programming. Okay. Okay, then. See you in tomorrow's session. Okay. Bye, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes, Padmaja.
I have a question. Like I missed yesterday's demo class, will I be able to access that video anywhere?
Yeah, once you send a mail to Naresh team, they will send you. Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you.